Right, now you should have all your wall dimensions in, and if you've got an error, now's the time to correct it, okay, and get everything into the right place. And I went ahead and added this 5'10" dimension here for this bathroom wall. Now Windows, we're going to use. I'm giving you a couple of files. One is this window B that we're going to use across the front. And I've given you this file, and this came from the window manufacturer. And you'll see these sizes and identifiers, okay, for all different window manufacturers. And often these will be in a PDF so that you can look at them. But then you've got them that you can download, and I downloaded this from the manufacturer, and it's blocks of the windows already drawn. And how this is read, and the data that you have here will depend upon what type of window it is. Okay, you read in your books about windows, of course you got double hung and single hungs and awnings and casements and things like that. But then also, is it a wood frame window, or is it a vinyl window, or is it some other aluminum clad type of window? Because they all have a different type of framework when it comes to installing them. Okay. And then even within those different types, they'll have different brick molds or the exterior molding, okay, depending upon how is it installed. So what you've got here is the window. The first row across here is the rough opening size. Okay, so that is the size that you would have in the wall framing. Or if we were going to install this type of window here, we would have an opening that's 1 foot 8 inches wide by 3 feet tall. Okay. The FS is going to be like the full size of the window. And so the actual window, and what we're measuring is the distance in here that the window opens, will be 1 foot 7.5 inches. Okay. And then these other here is like the glazing area, the top pane and the bottom portion of it. Okay, this is the window identifier. Okay, so the VK is the manufacturer and the series. This is a WinQuest series. DH means double hung. 1830 is the size of the window, meaning it's a 1 foot 8 wide by 3 foot 0 tall. Okay, so you got to remember that these, especially with this manufacturer, this is the feet and inches. All right, and what it shows you is it can be divided lights, like this right here, 4 panes over 4 panes. This one is 6 panes over 6 panes, and so on. Or it can come as a regular, a single pane in each sash. It can come both ways, but instead of putting all of these divided lights in every window down here, they just show it across the top and down the bottom as to how it will look. Okay, so what we're going to do this time is we're going to insert the plan view, and these are blocks. Well, they're supposed to be blocks. What we're going to do is we're going to copy and paste our windows. Our A windows and our C windows are both 3 foot 0 inches wide. So I'm going to copy and paste these into my drawing. And so I'm going to come over here to my drawing, and I'm going to go to the 0 layer and paste it on the 0 layer, and may need to, I'm going to need to change the color of that. I'm going to go ahead and change the 0 layer to the black white. And if you're dealing with the typical black background, that box right there would be white. It's what we call a white black, because it changes based on what your background is. Okay. Um, Now back to my window, my double hung window. I want to select that window and I'm going to Control C, go back to my floor plan, and I'm just going to come down here and paste it, Control V. All right, now I pasted it, it's on the 0 layer. Now, the problem is, the window sash there measures 5.5 inches, which for a normal building, okay, you got a 2x4 stud, 3.5 inches, half inch of exterior sheathing. That means you do 4 inches. Half inch of drywall on the inside is 4.5 inches. We've got an extra inch that we need to get rid of. Okay. In a normal situation. So you would have to adjust whatever blocks you bring in. In our case, we want this dimension here to be 4 inches. Okay. So the easiest way, and since this, and I have found that scaling these things don't particularly work very well. So I can try clicking here and dragging it down 1 inch. Oh, I needed to move it 1.5 inches. Sorry, that should be 4 inches. So let me do that again for 1/2 inch. Okay. Now I need to move these two down just a little bit to make it look better. So I'm going to go Move command, and I'm just going to drag them down to get a kind of center them up visually. Okay, and now my window's 4 inches deep. I've got it where I want it. Now I want to turn this into a block. So I'll select the whole thing, right click. Oh, it doesn't give me there. So I'll just type in the block command. And I want to convert it to a block. Excuse me. And I'm going to call it Window 3.0 Plan View. And I want to specify my base point on screen. So I'll say OK. And then I'm going to choose the turn my snaps back on. I'm going to choose the midpoint of the interior wall. Okay, now that's the base point. And now when I go to move it or copy it, that base point comes up and it selects the whole thing all at one time. Now we need some construction lines. So let's go back. Let's turn our construction layer back on. And we've still got a lot of these lines from when we had the wall. So I'm going to turn my dimension layer off because that's a little confusing. Okay, and let's see this one. I'm going to delete that one on the interior of the wall. I'm just going to delete ones I don't need. Now, okay. Now what I'll do is I'll copy these across based on where my windows are going to go. And here's where your feet inch calculator comes in handy. So my first one, I'm going to work across this top wall up here, is like 9 feet 11. And the easiest way, the quickest way to do it is just use your copy command. Choose your base point here, ortho mode zone, drag over till I get a snap and go 9 feet 11. And that'll place the first one. the next one I got to do the math to figure out where it is. So I get my feet inch calculator and start adding 9 foot 11, 2 foot 11, and 9 feet 10. It gives me 27 feet. And so I'm still in my copy command. So I just say 27 feet. And now I just keep adding for the next one. I add 11 foot 6. Gives me 38 feet 6 inches. And then do my math. 5 feet plus 6 feet 6 gives me 50 feet. Okay, that's got my window locations across the top wall. And so you'll do the same thing down the sides and across the front and back up that side. Now I can take my window here, and you can bring it in. You can copy and drop it. You can rotate these things. So I'm going to go ahead and make a copy of it. Bring it up here. I'm going to select it. I'm going to rotate it 180 degrees. And now I'll bring it up. Turn my O-snap off to get it up here. And now turn my O-snap. Oh. And place it at the intersection of the wall and my construction line. Okay, and now that I've got that located, I can select and copy from that same base point. Bring it in and drop it at each location going across. Okay. All right, so that's got those across there. So then I can take these construction lines out. Don't want to do that yet? Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and delete this. Now we need to trim the wall. Actually, I think we might be okay. Except that's still on the 0 layer. Okay, so I should have put those on my glazing layer. So let me select all of those. And they go on the AGLAZ layer, glazing. And so, yes, we do need to trim the wall out there. So I'll go trim. Wait a minute. Before you start trimming, turn off your construction layer, or it'll trim out your construction lines. Now I can trim. And the only one I need to trim is that one on the exterior side of the wall. Okay. Okay, now you'll do the same thing all the way around. Let me look at the B-size window. Okay, so it's good. You will need to resize it to make it 4 inches deep right here. Okay. And now after, let me just pause the video now and it will come back with window tags and dimensioning. But you need, go ahead and place all of your windows all the way around the building.